Hello everyone, welcome back to Culture Mundo Joanna. Today we are taking you to Germany, to a town called Schriesheim. Schriesheim is a town located in the southwest of Germany. It is part of the Rhine-Neckar River Kreis and the Rhine-Neckar Metropolitan Region. A beautiful town whose story dates back to the year 764 AD. Despite centuries of attacks and destruction, the town refused to be erased.
Most of the buildings which you see on the left side were reconstructed.
It's famous for its lovely hills, sunny weather, and its incredible wine. It's a place where history comes to life. Schriesheim's story is one of the incredible survival and resilience back over thousands of years. In this video, we are going to walk through the medieval streets filled with houses that defied the flames of war and uncover the secrets told to us by our amazing guide. So come with us to experience the unique history, beauty, and enduring spirit of Schriesheim. Let's dive into the past right here in modern Germany. After leaving home Spain, we decided to take it easy and not to drive more than 400 kilometers per day. Therefore, we stopped at a budget hotel of Ibis in France to pass the night at the town of Montélimar. Stayed here for one night. So, good morning everybody. As we said yesterday, we are on our way to Germany. We slept in this hotel for one night. We are heading on to Germany. See you then. After breakfast, we went on heading north towards the city of Besançon, France, where we are to pass the second night. On our way, we stopped for lunch at the restaurant Jasron Toisong.
Anyone needs water?
Yeah, I will. Then later we proceeded with our journey and spent our second night at the Ibis Hotel of Besançon. After breakfast, we started our last leg, which would take us directly to our final destination. On with our trip. Today we reached Germany. Arriving, sorry. We are now crossing the Grand Canal, which is almost at the border of Germany and France. Read even with the names indicates that we are approaching Germany. Now we are in Germany. Welcome to Germany. On our way to Germany, it started raining heavily, and unfortunately we came across an accident. It took a while to sort everything out, but eventually we managed to proceed on with our journey without any problem. After 2 long days on the road, we finally arrived to Schriesheim, Germany. This town has incredible history and the best wine you can ask for. Be ready to explore this beautiful town. Yeah, could be where we will be staying for a while. Look at this very beautiful town. Oh, Kaiser. Okay, here we go. This is our home. Okay, let me show you around. This is our room. Okay. Okay. And this is the bathroom. I think. Welcome back to Culture Mundo, Joanna. We are in Germany. As we told you yesterday, we are visiting this town, which is called Schriesheim, and we'll be here for a few days. We hope to see different places and show you around. I hope you like it. Welcome. Our hotel, we stayed here a few days. And now we are going to meet our guide, Ralph Wehnert, who first gave us a short history of this beautiful town.
Which is a very famous town because it was the only real massive town on the right side of the Rhine, right bank of the Rhine, which is our area here.
Okay. After a short history from our guide, we are now ready to explore this beautiful town. Our walk starts at the river Kanzelbach. This river flows through the Old Town district, serving as a historical and geographical importance counterpiece of the community. It flows into the much larger Neckar River, which is a major geographical feature of the region. And at this point, we found this old tobacco house.
Eran para secar el tabaco, las hojas de tabaco. Había se plantaba mucho tabaco.
A forgotten piece of Schriesheim's farming history. Tobacco used to be a big crop in this area. Did you say anything about these areas?
Formerly, this passage was not here. The people had to pass through some streets which were like a little bit dangerous. So some major decided to build these bridges along the river so that the people can cross.
Oh, okay. Standing right along the river was this 500-year oil mill. This site, which was active as an oil mill for centuries, is a great example of the town's early industry. It processed seeds to create oil, a crucial commodity for a town whose history is so closely tied to agriculture and self-sufficiency. Let's go in and see how it looks like.
Organic different countries. Organic.
You're going in? There we are.
You can now use Mohn at that time wasn't existing, but you can still use it. And people, the young people here, after the wars, they were sent into the woods and they were collecting mostly Bucheckern, which is from the tree of Buchen, was then the Danish word for
Look, here are the seeds.
Ah.
This is from the trees, from Bucheckern. You know, flowers. These are seeds of.
It's amazing to think about the people who worked here 500 years ago. They were taking tiny seeds like these ones and transforming them into something essential the whole community needed, day in, day out. The mill provided fuel, the light and the sustenance for the town, and the river the energy, allowing the people of Schriesheim to rebuild and endure.
Okay. Before, and that's how it's now. And most of the buildings which you see on the left side were reconstructed with the money, a lot of money coming into this out of this program to reconstruct old Schriesheim.
The castle has been attacked, they were in ruins. Planners need to come and seal the stone.
One of the few fans of Mr. Trump is living.
So whenever the nearby castle of Schriesheim, which we will visit soon, had been under attack, the day after the villagers used to rush and take as many stones as possible to use them for construction of their houses.
Stones which are well made had been taken down from the castle. It was one of the south-north passages. Before, everything was full of houses and you could not walk. So this was open so that people could go there.
Also, we are told that in former times, only rich people could build their houses with stones, while most houses were built with wood, making them vulnerable to fire. This explains the German expression steinreich, meaning stone-rich, referring to a very rich person. This saying is used even up to today.
Up to nowadays you say that.
Okay.
I ve d'això, perquè això vol dir que quan va haver un incendi no va quedar res, perquè només la base sí que era de pedra, però tot això de fusta. Quan començava a cremar, no quedava res. Els rics construïen amb pedra. I això, quan el castell estava en ruïnes, l'havien atacat, el dia després de l'atac ja estaven els pagesos corrents cap amunt
recollint pedres.
Ostres. És la més perillosa. Nosaltres
Okay, we are here also in one of these passages north and south, where you now can go across the village without being forced on the main roads. This was opened, and it's, as I said, sometimes it's hard to distinguish what is reconstructed original, what had been done in the style of medieval. Here we have one of the few museums, or the only museum we have here in Schriesheim. Theo Kerk. This was a modern artist, and he did a lot of church windows and other things. Whoever is interested in some days, this museum is open.
Okay.
Before we go now, we come to the oldest part of Schriesheim, where no longer to be seen because other buildings had been constructed. But there's one cellar which is still used, which is from 790. That means it's 1200 and something old. That's the oldest iron monument, stone monument, which is a heritage from this time. The other structures are all modern.
Okay.
Of course, let's move.
Der Zehnkeller ist das oder ist das?
Der alte Zehnkeller. Around 1500, when this whole village came to Heidelberg, there was new property owners, and they have constructed another huge cellar, which is also used until now. All this, what you see here, was buildings,
On the left is a
absolute substandard buildings in here, and so they decided to construct a gymnasium here, Turnhalle, and to renovate the school. And now here's the wine, our wine producers have constructed something. So this is gives a more modern impression, but it was necessary because the still people live and work here, so you cannot come on and it's not, as I say, it's not Legoland or something, not a museum of the old times.
This is beautiful.
Reconstructed, destroyed. So, for example, this whole building, this church, there was a huge,
Like a barn.
huge barn, because the people living along here had to give a certain percentage of their harvest to the people in Heidelberg or in Mannheim, and they had to store it in between, and that was a huge building. But our French neighbors in 1700 something managed to destroy it completely. So, but the whole territory was given to the Catholic Church to construct that church. You know?
This is the Catholic Church.
You know that from 17 something on, the town expanded onto this side, and it was never so important because we had the castle up there to protect. No? So we walk along this, and this was one of these places also open that you can go through there. And we will reunite maybe 150 meters from here. Okay.
This little street is actually like a passage which was very important in ancient times when there was an attack. This small passage was just behind the walls, and it was compulsory to keep it always open so that the defenders could move very fast from one point of the wall to the other to keep the attackers away. We have here an example for the traditional German way of building houses, which is making like a skeleton made of wood, which is shown and not covered even after finishing the construction, and filling the gaps between the skeleton with cement nowadays, but in olden times, of course, mud and clay and similar materials.
Okay.
A decoration on the side of garage door, which shows that we are in Baden-Württemberg, which is a part of Germany which is quite rich in vineyards. So the wine industry here is quite important, and it is shown all the time in the decorations of the houses, and also the fact that there are so many wine plants, grape plants growing along the walls of the houses. As I just mentioned before, we can see different plants of grape plants, the type which climbs, decorating the houses and giving shadow to the entrances, together with the traditional way of building houses, which we have mentioned before. And you can see also on the ground the typical cobblestones, which were traditionally used and which have been preserved up to nowadays.
So for fast bicycle riders, it's a little bit of a challenge here.
For fast and for slow. Los patinetes y cosas así. Perfecto para los patinetes.
To fulfill it, you have a historical house. You cannot change, for example, normal
The windows, etc.
So explanation, the old Schriesheim, this row is the last row that was within the town boundary. No? Behind that, this is all 80s or 1920, and even after the Second World War, the construction site, Schriesheim, became bigger and bigger. More and more people settled. But some of these houses have these double cellars. Double cellar means they had one cellar for their goods, etc. But when the soldiers came, and a lot of armies went from north to south, every 20, 30, 50 years they were destroyed. And so these people would normally starve because they had the soldiers were taking all their goods, because there are thousands that they marched through. So they invented cellars on the second level. And you can go into it, and sometimes they remove some slabs and some wood, and you can see there's a second cellar. And there they had these goods that allowed them to survive. To survive after the end of the war. After the soldiers went away, they could survive and could get to their goods. Because when it was winter time, they had no way of growing crops and everything. It was gone. And they chased the cattle into the forest. It was quite a good idea. We are heading now for one of our nice pubs, Handwerk, and if you are a friend of good beers, and different brands of beers, local draft beers as they call it.
Te explico algo que es interesante.
Sí.
Estaban los franceses aquí.
Sí.
El gobernador francés, que eran los hijos de puta, bueno, para la gente, se llamaba Melakel. Sí. Entonces la gente, porque le odiaban a muerte, los alemanes, a sus gossos, los ideaban Lakel. Para de alguna manera vengarse, ¿no?
Now we can see what remains from the castle. As I said, constructed without permit. Without permit, and therefore he had to, with his soldiers, he had to fight. Finally, he got the right to keep his castle and the town. All what we see, what we do, from roads and streets, that's exactly what 1,000 years or 900 years ago. But so something for the children now. If you look up to the castle, there is maybe a ghost. I don't know. But you just see. Some people see her, others don't. No?
What can we see? A lady.
Tales of a lady.
Wenn genug für den Schriessheimer Wein hat,
At the castle. At that window.
wenn genug Schriessheimer Wein
Is it the
hast,
first
dann siehst du
window?
über den Fenstern Leute.
Jetzt gehen wir mal an. Now it's one of the old houses. It's still old bases. Quite often survived these walls, but the whole rest burned away. So these houses could be reconstructed. We are now almost 80 years in peace, and you never, if you look into history, you never had 80 years in a row where no one conquered the town, burnt it down, or used it. All these 1,200 years, we had a long period of peace where no war entered Schriesheim and this area. And this period started 1945. We also had a Jewish community in Schriesheim.
Okay.
A large Jewish community which had an old church, etc. But during the Nazi period they were all chased away or went away, and some were murdered, others managed to escape to America or to Holland and so on. But this is a very... If they have enough money. People like Schumacher and others.
Trotzdem, die Schweizer haben so einen guten Ruf. Ne?
Ich verstehe es auch nicht.
Die Erfinder der Demokratie waren ja.
Main street. I would say one of the main streets.
About the 20s, the town of Schriesheim gave it to someone as a present for zero something, but they have to keep it in order and have to allow the citizens to get contact to it at any time. That means you have it open, climb the tower and so on and so on. But unfortunately, 10 years ago it started that the tower and the staircase became a little bit problematic, so they stopped moving up, and then just after the Corona. Okay, that's the story of the castle. Make a short stop at the old town hall, which is a nice building. It was in function up to 1970, and then the new, as where we started, the new one was constructed, and now it's just for ceremonies, people who want to marry. You see now, at the beginning you see a stone with an iron on it, and that was, Schriesheim was a court place for about 30 communities around here. It was a court place. So then from time to time there was a court, and the judges came, etc., and they were negotiating, all in public, and then they went up and decided what is the punishment for the one, and in a lot of normal things like insulting someone or had stolen a little bit or something, he had to stand on the stone, which you see now, for 24 hours with a chain around his neck. That was the punishment. And of course for severe things there was the death punishment. And we have a German saying that is saying, einen Stab brechen über jemanden, to break stick, break a wood stick or something. Stick. And that was when they were discussing what to do with this, somebody murdered or something like that. And the chief judge came out and broke. Then we knew that it was a death.
So if the stick did not break, then
They always chose a stick which breaks easy.
So you mean one of these people that could have managed that he has an elastic one?
Tenía un engranaje ya. The town hall.
The town hall.
And unfortunately we cannot go in.
Okay.
But here is this famous stone which I mentioned.
Okay.
Those who were sentenced to the pranger, they had to stand up here, got this around their necks, and they had to stand there for 24 hours. And people could go by and clap them with them as a punishment. And now, if we go through, we see this house that has survived the last...
Yeah, still working.
1662.
Qué pasada. Qué bonito.
La casa del cura.
Ah, vale.
El cura evangélico. Con el nombre Konrad Wiederhold y Susana Elisabetta Heimin, su esposa.
Vale.
You know, it took him too long time till the community had reconstructed or built something. So he decided on his own, behind the Odenwald, to construct his house. Unfortunately, it was never burnt. It was the oldest house.
De los llantos, el Señor es parte mía, dice mi alma.
So this parish house is one of the most important and oldest in Schriesheim. In the late 1600s, French troops burned most of the town, but this house miraculously survived the destruction. It's one of the original houses and still standing today, making it a historic landmark and a symbol of the town's history and resilience.
A lot of people, they come here, they just park for 10 minutes to go into the bakery or to the stores and then leave. Main parking. The central crossing of west. And that's north and south. The plan was laid 800, 900 years ago.
900, that...
That's the plan.
That is... Whoever thought of...
Nice entry.
It used to be a restaurant, but if you want to run a restaurant, you have to close.
So eventually it got closed.
It's closed.
And here we find the town church. It is the main historic Protestant church in town, which was destroyed when the French troops burned down the town, but it was rebuilt and continues to serve the community today. Not far from the town church, there was this evangelic old boys' school house. It is a historical building that shows how boys and girls were taught separately long time ago.
Our guide was just commenting that Schriesheim was actually never very good in defending itself. So it was conquered 1,000 times. Every time the whole city was burned down and the walls were flattened.
Just as our tour ended, on our way back to our hotel, we saw this beautiful lady carrying lovely flowers. She must have been a guest at a wedding ceremony at the town hall. A big thank you to our guide Raf Weiner for the engaging town tour, and to you, our viewers, for following us. I hope you enjoyed exploring this region with us. Please don't miss our next episode, where we visit the vineyards and get a taste of the local wines. And above all, don't forget to like, subscribe, and coming back for more. Till next time, see you soon.